they gave me 10 minutes, a big mistake on their part. You guys are going to learn a lot about me in 10 minutes. I call this trauma dumping to the extreme. No, I'm just joking. But, you know, it is interesting, you know, some people, most people here know me, but some people wonder, I mean, name Madison, is that real? It is. My parents basically saw a newborn child, and they looked at it and they said, you know, pepper is spicy for us, but let's spice this up a little bit. Let's make this interesting for this little guy. Let's name him Madison, because when we had to pick an M name, we went through 4 M names, and we didn't like people that had those names. We just basically decided to give up. So, Madison it is. Thanks, Mom and Dad. We really appreciate that. There's some things that come with being a guy named Madison. Everybody you talk to seems to know another guy named Madison, but can never actually show you a picture or a Facebook or any contact info. They're like, oh, I went to high school with a guy. It's like, oh, I have every yearbook. Do you happen to have the yearbook of the guy named Madison? Nah. Okay. Yeah, I'll just trust you. I believe you. Another one you get is old ladies who are like, oh, well, we had a president named Madison. That was their last name. Okay, Brandy? I know, I've heard this 28 times. That's his last name. Not the same. I can't, my other option, my middle name is my dad's first name. And that's not happening because his name is Murray. Which, depending on if your hearing isn't too good or my pronunciation isn't very good, it goes Madison Marie. And I'm like, one time I had such bad handwriting that my last name is basically Rachel but with a K. And so they thought my K was an R. So I was Madison Marie Rachel to that substitute teacher that day. That was 7th grade. 7th and 8th grade from that point forward, awful. I got braces and glasses that same week. And I was like, okay, you just decided to ruin my livelihood. Thank you. Okay, some other fun things that happen is, you know, people will assume over online that I'm a woman. And they'll usually just hit me with the, Miss Cockle, can you please respond in soon time? And I'm like, okay, yeah. So you did enough research to know that I was single, but not enough research to know that I'm not a woman? Or did you just assume I'm single? I mean, you're right, but it would be nice to get a Mrs. Cockle every once in a while, okay? Like, at least assume that I can pull some game every once in a while, okay? I just don't understand. You go to the pharmacy sometimes, and it's a different pharmacist every single time. I don't know why the CVS is churning pharmacists so many times. But every time they get a new one of them, I don't know if it's during training, but they're like, okay, during training you have to check all the logs and make sure all the data is correct. Apparently they get to my name every single time and they see the M that means male, and they're like, this is wrong. Change that right now. I come up and like, here to pick up my antibiotics, and they're like, oh, well, I just want to make sure you're not pregnant or trying to be pregnant, are you? And I sigh, and they're like, oh, okay, I'm starting to see what's happening here. And I look at him and I say, can you turn the monitor around towards me real quick? Yeah, I know it turns. Don't act like it doesn't. I know because this is the 3rd time I've had this monitor turned towards me. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Jessica. But, Abby, yeah, you're going to need to change that F to an M. And this is the 3rd time I'm talking about this. Can I get a doctor that regularly stays here? Oh, there's no doctors. Okay, I got you. Should have guessed. Pharmacist. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I guess another fun thing is, you know, I am, in fact, single. I didn't hear any gasps. Okay, so I guess everybody's... It's fine. Yeah. Well, I believe... Well, the next line of that joke is, believe me, I'm confused too. I mean, but it seems like I'm the only one confused. And I have some close friends here tonight, so no gas from them, but they know all too well. But, you know, every once in a while I'm on the dating apps, and every once in a while they'll try and help a brother out. But by help a brother out, they'll send me, this is the most compatible match. Please review this profile and tell me what you think. Send a like. We think that it can really work out for you guys. And the match says that their profession is to make puzzles. and that their love language is to share their hardest puzzles with me. And they say right next to it, I only share my puzzles if it's serious. And I look at the profile and I'm like, Hinge, are you calling me autistic? Because that's the most autistic thing I've ever heard. Professional puzzle maker? My love language is sharing my hardest puzzle with you, but only if it's serious? I sent them a like. They didn't like me back. Okay. Well, that's the... Hinge is basically a love on the spectrum ad for me at this point. I mean, I think that they're trying to pilot that mech, and it's just not working. They have emailed me a couple of times, but I don't know. I've never actually been tested, you know. My mom tried to get me tested at one point. It was really early on in my childhood. And the tests were just a little bit different back then, but not too different. And they're like, he makes plenty of eye contact, and he has no problem with any of these things. Yeah, but my mom said, I don't believe you. 10 years later, The Big Bang Theory comes out, and she referred to me as Sheldon for a couple of months. And I'm like, you gave me the name Madison, and now you're giving me the name Shelton? Sheldon? I don't know. I can't even remember what the kid's name is anymore. But I found out, there are some allegations against me, not just Hinge, of course, but apparently my mom has been spreading around to all the grocery stores she goes to when she lived in Cleveland, and now she lives in Etowah. She talks about her extremely high-functioning autistic child named Madison. There's not a lot of guys named Madison, as I mentioned, so it's hard to really push that on somebody else. So, I walk up to Food City, and for a while I worked there, and they're like, oh, are you him? I'm like, yeah, I'm him. And they're like, no, you're Faith's son. You're the heavily autistic. Do you need any help? And I was like, I get my own groceries. I have that I got here just fine, and I have my value card, okay? I even remember my phone number this time, okay? But you tell Faith the next time she's in here that I'm going to see her again for Thanksgiving, and please don't bring it up in front of the stranger that's at the Thanksgiving table, because if she's calling me autistic, read the room. Don't bring up your autism allegations to your son and in front of your stepdad and some random lady you got from an RV park. Because that just doesn't feel like the time. I mean, I'm not great at reading social cues, but I don't think Thanksgiving in front of strangers is the time to drop that dive bomb on me. Another thing, people like me tend to tell people things unprompted. And by people like me, I mean people that were born in Texas. They seem to always bring up that they were born in Texas unprompted. They're like, they hear, oh, where are you from, to some other person. They walk into the conversation, they say, I was born in Texas. Yeah, born in Texas. Don't worry, I've been living here since I was 4, so really none of that matters. But I was born there. And rules in Texas are a little bit different. I would go back for visitation with my dad during summers and winters. And, most states don't agree on things. But one thing that most of them do agree on is drinking and driving is wrong. Most of them agree on that. Most of them. California is a little bit iffy. South California. And so, basically, my dad went to this place. And anybody heard of a beer barn? No, of course, because all of you are in law-abiding states. A beer barn is basically a drive-through beer stand. And you might be thinking, a drive-through place where you buy beer? Yeah, that seems pretty illegal. It's extra illegal when you're in a broken-down pickup truck and you're 4 years old in a car seat on the front of the truck. And your dad is ordering 5 Fosters that I then have to hold in my lap. And then it only occurred the irony of that when I became an adult. And by adult, I mean 22. I should have picked that up pretty quickly. But that's been my time. Thank you guys so much.
Keep it going for Madison.